All right, this video is having to do with Module 43 and stress and health. So to start us off with, first of all, we have to talk about behavioral medicine. Behavioral medicine is a combination between psychology and biology. So it's this combination of basically doctors and the medical profession working through how stress affects our overall health. So behavioral medicine is the combination of the two. Health psychology is particularly the psychology aspect of it. So if you're seeing a health psychologist, you're having somebody that helps you deal with the stress that and trying to improve your stress so that it does not negatively impact your overall health. So what you may have noticed is that when you are stressed, have you noticed how your immune system starts to weaken? Your immune system starts to weaken, and so as a result, you are more likely to get sick. So it's interesting because it's this vicious cycle where you're all stressed out about something. So as a result, you have a weak immune system, so you get sick. So then you're stressed out because you're sick, and it's just leading to this vicious cycle of being stressed and sick. Sick causes stress, various things. So how do we define stress? Well, stress is how we appraise and cope with the environmental threats and challenges in our daily lives. So this is going to be actually appraising what's going on in a particular situation and being able to cope with it. So how do you deal with stress? Well, you could talk about stress as far as Cannon's idea of fight or flight. So this idea of fight or flight is either you go and stand your ground and you defend your position, you attack, you dig in, you persevere, you work through it, right? You work through the stressors. And your flight is the idea that you are going to just give in. You're going to go and give up, you run away, and you don't continue on with that. So that could be one way of dealing with stress. For some people, it's withdrawal. And they just simply give up, and you want to crawl into a corner and just die. You just want to give up and withdraw as to what is going on. Another way that particularly women deal with stress is this idea of tend and befriend. So women, what they will do is when they're stressed, they will go and help other people. They will tend to other people. They will try and help other people through things. Even though that they're stressed themselves, somebody asks them for help, they will still go and help them. And befriend, they will go and try and befriend as many people as possible, trying to get, outside assistance to deal with their stress. So that's the idea of tend and befriend. But it's more for women than men. Men are more likely to kind of lash out at people when they're stressed rather than tend to them or befriend them. Another way to deal with stress is the general adaptation syndrome. And general adaptation syndrome is the body's response to stress. And so you basically have three phases of the GAS. The first phase is this alarm reaction. So due to the sympathetic nervous system, you feel like this, right? You find out, oh my God, I have a test this week, I have a project this week, your heart starts to pound, you start to sweat, you start to panic, and you have this physical reaction. The second phase is going to be resistance, where you actually deal with the stressor. So this is going to be where you're actually going to fight back. You're going to do something about it. Okay, it's freaking me out. I have a test, I have a project, but I'm going to work through it. So I'm going to go and attempt to get this done. I'm going to figure out, I'm going to go and work through it. I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to study for my test. I'm going to work on my project. I'm going to get it done. But then after you turn it in or after you take that test, then you have complete exhaustion. And this is where you used up all of your reserves, and so you are exhausted and you have used everything up, every bit of energy you have left. And so as a result, you're opening yourself up to illness. So what happens is it looks kind of like this, where you're starting with your good health and you have your homeostasis, and then you hit a stressor, and it goes through the alarm stage. Okay, and then you go through a resistance stage, and so your resistance is high, you are working through it, you're working through the particular stressor. And in the exhaustion a stage, you basically use up all of your energy and you're done. So done. So that's the general adaptation syndrome. All right, so the last thing that we have to talk about with stress is types of stressors. So there are major stressors, like, for example, catastrophes or life changes that could be a stressor. These are fewer and far between. For example, obviously, you are coming up with close to a big stressor as to what you do after high school. So that's can be considered a life change, whether that be you go to college or you choose to do something else. But catastrophes include, natural disasters, or tornado or hurricane, as well as in war, for example, that would be a catastrophe. So major stressors are out there. They do occur in somebody's lifetime, but they're not as prevalent as daily hassles. And these daily hassles, some people argue, are actually worse on your overall mental and physical health. The accumulation of these daily hassles, but it depends upon how frequently they occur as well as your personal reaction. So some people are better at reacting to daily hassles than others. So some of them could include just simply, oh my gosh, I have so much to do and just not enough time to do it. That's a daily hassle. Traffic can be a huge daily hassle. And even family situations. This would be a daily occurrence practically at my house, a child spilling something. And you have obviously instances at your house where it's a daily hassle, to have to deal with your parents, oh my gosh, or your siblings, or whatever family situations that you have going on. So daily hassles can have this negative overall effect on your mental and physical health, especially depending upon how you react to it. Now, on the flip side of that, uplifts and these good things that happen can buffer against illness, and this can go and help build up your immune system. So simple things like, for example, giving a compliment, right? Or being able to check off boxes that, I accomplished this. This is something that I accomplished and I got done with that, right? Or even laughter. Laughter can, help bring our spirits up, and it can buffer our immune system, and it can go and bring up our immune system. Now, obviously, they have to be, an extended period of time. It's not just like if you laugh once when you're having a lot of hassles, it's going to affect you a whole lot. But it can be important. All right, and finally, stress and the heart. How does the stress affect your heart? Well, stress and personality can both increase the chances of developing heart disease. Obviously, the more stress you have, the harder it is on your heart, and it could make you more prone to heart disease. Now, personality-wise, so high stress does can cause disease, so chronic inflammation of the heart. So it can cause heart disease long-term if you have constant stress. But you can also talk about personality. And so type A personality are these people that are very competitive, very aggressive, very impatient. They have obviously a very high increased risk of developing heart disease. These are going to be some other characteristics of type A individuals. They're very controlling, they're very concerned about their status, they're highly competitive, they're very ambitious, they're very aggressive. Whereas type B people, oh, this is a cartoon for type A, it says, I've always been a high achiever, always striving for bigger, faster, greater, and now suddenly I'm expected to settle for lower blood pressure and less cholesterol? Yeah, that would be a type A person. Type A people are highly affected. Their heart disease is through the roof as far as their chances of that. But type B people are going to be much more easygoing people, and they have a decreased risk of heart disease. So these people are going to be much more relaxed and patient and easygoing. They don't have this overall sense of urgency like type A people do. So this is the says type B people, and so you can see the type A person has got this outlook that life is short. You gotta get this stuff done. Whereas type B says, yeah, while you're all young, have fun, play, laugh, have some fun. So there is a difference as far as how it affects your heart. All right, that's it for Module 43. Let me know if you have any questions.